Hey guys, in this video we are going to talk about classifying polynomials. So up at the top of page 73 you should see 4 different words that are used to classify polynomials by degree and 4 different words that are used to classify polynomials by the number of terms that they have. Now you are required to learn what these words mean, but you are not required to memorize how to spell them. We will give you a word bank with that, but it is important that you learn what they mean. So let's start with by degree. When we're talking about degree, we're talking about the highest exponent that a polynomial has. So if there's no variable, it's just a constant. That's not a new word for you. You've heard that before. It just means that the degree is 0. Here, if I have 4x plus 9, this x is to the first power. That means the degree is 1. That's the biggest exponent that is there. That makes it linear. 8x squared plus 2x minus 3, the biggest exponent is 2. Therefore, the degree is 2, and we call that a quadratic. 5x to the third plus 1, the biggest exponent is 3, and that is called a cubic function. It means the degree is 3. So, you have heard of these 3 words before. I don't think we have talked about cubic before, but these 4 words are all used to describe polynomials. These 3 are a little bit easier to remember. The word nomial just means term. So mono means 1, so monomial means 1 term. Bi means 2, so binomial means 2 terms. Tri means 3, so trinomial means 3 terms. Poly means many, so that means there are more than 3 terms, or there are many terms. So anything that has 4 or more terms is just called a polynomial. Now, one thing I do want to note, sometimes you may see a polynomial that has an exponent bigger than 3. Those we just call by their degree. So if the biggest exponent is 6, I would call it a 6th degree polynomial. All right, so let's take a look at some examples here. If I have a monomial, that means there's only 1 term. Remember, mono means 1, nomial means term, 1 term. So here are some examples. I could have 3x, I could have 5x to the 10th, I could have 4ab. All of these are 1 term. Now remember, terms are separated by addition and subtraction. That's how I know there's only 1 term, because there's no addition and no subtraction. If I'm talking about a binomial, that means I have to have 2 terms. So that means I have to have 2 terms separated by either addition or subtraction. So for example, I could have 3x plus 5x to the 5th. That would be a binomial. Or I could have 4x minus 7y, 2 terms separated by subtraction. Or I could have 42x plus 3. That would be a binomial. And obviously there are way more than just these examples. Trinomial means 3 terms separated by addition and subtraction. So an example might be 5x squared plus 3x minus 5y. You could also have 16y minus 5y cubed minus 18x. Or we could have 4x squared plus 6x plus 8. Just 3 examples. And then down at the bottom, we're going to write some examples of constants, linear, quadratic, and cubic. So remember, constant means no variable. So basically, that's just any number. I could have the number 3. I could have the number 30. I could have the number -9. I could have the number -10. Any of those numbers don't have variables and therefore are constants. Linear, on the other hand, means the biggest exponent is 1. So for example, 7x has an exponent of 1. I could also have 4x plus 6. I could have 8x minus 10. Any of those are going to be linear. It's important to note that I can't have more than 1 number going on for the constant because there can't be any variable. Okay? Quadratic means the biggest exponent is 2. So for example, I could have 72x squared. I could also have 7x squared minus 3x plus 6. I could also have 4x squared plus 2. All of these have an exponent of 2 as the biggest exponent, so they're all quadratic. And the last one is cubic. That means the biggest exponent is 3. So for example, I could have 2x cubed. I could have 7x cubed plus 4. I could have 7x cubed plus 4x minus 6. All of these are cubic functions. And that's it. So the main idea here, ladies and gents, is that you have to remember what all of these terms up at the top of the page mean, and remember that terms are separated by addition and subtraction.